When you control the narrative, you can essentially control the belief of a population, because right now everybody is going to these AIs and these LLMs. And if you ask me, I'm waiting. One of the big things I'm waiting for when it comes to legislation and things around AI and LLMs is I'm expecting them to be basically ingested by the government. Because at what point do we start to accept the fact that these are the tools that are currently shaping policy? They are shaping the local identity of the people, because this is where they're going to get all of their information. So at this point, we're not using things, and I'm here in the US. So when I was growing up, it was ABC, CBS, NBC. You would watch your 10 o'clock news with Walter Cronkite or whoever. Now, even when it comes to news, everything is so decentralized. You have, the younger generations are getting their news from TikTok.
Anybody
I'm
with a cell
50.
phone is a news maker now.
Absolutely. But I'm just even thinking more along the lines of just what do we look at as a source of truth? And I guess at the end of the day, to me, that is what is going to become the most valuable commodity as we move forward in this new deepfake AI society. I love to talk to people about this, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this one. But I'm currently living in a model that I'm waiting to see how it actually plays out. I have two grandchildren. We're going to call one of them J, one of them G, and they're roughly about the same age. They're about between 9 and 11. G has been raised homeschooled from day one, never been in front of a screen, lives on a farm, has chores, takes care of animals, and is very, very independent. You can put her in a room with nothing else in it, and she's okay. I mean, she is so independent that she actually, one of my favorite stories about her is she had a canopy bed, like a little princess bed in her room, and it was beautiful. Well, she outgrew it. She decided she didn't want to wait for her mom and dad to come in and take it down. She went out into the garage, grabbed her dad's toolbox, brought it in, figured out how to disassemble the entire canopy part of the bed. And by the time my daughter walked into the room, it was all sitting neatly piled up in over. She is very independent, but unfortunately, she is growing into a world that is requiring understanding of digital technologies and digital processes. Then we have Jay, who from the time she was about 6 months old, had a phone in her hand. And by the time she was a year and a half, knew how to surf YouTube successfully, bypass commercials, find what she wants to watch. She also told us at age 5 that she wanted to be an influencer. She is extremely age 5. She said she wanted to be an influencer. And if we look at her capabilities and her ability to interface to the digital systems that are a part of this world, she's great. But if you take away any of those electronic devices, she will have a complete meltdown. She does not know how to be okay as just herself. And we've had these philosophical discussions, at what point do you introduce technology? At what point is too much technology? How do we regulate the children? I'm living in a social experiment, and I'm watching the outcomes on a daily basis. And I'm not saying either one is better than the other, but I will say I think both of them are going to have very unique issues as they grow into adulthood.